Once, in a small town, there lived a young man named Rowan. He worked tirelessly under a strict employer, barely making enough to survive. Rowan had no family, as he had lost his parents at a young age. Every night, he came home to his small hut, cooked a simple meal, ate alone, and went to sleep. One evening, he prepared 3 rotis and some lentils. But as he turned to wash his hands, he noticed that one roti was missing. Confused, he searched around but found nothing. The same thing happened the next night. On the 3rd night, he stayed vigilant and finally caught the thief, a small, old crow. The crow looked at him with weary eyes and spoke, "Brother, why do you stop me? I only take my share of fate." Rowan was astonished. "I work hard for every meal, and you steal my food." "My life is already difficult," he exclaimed. The crow nodded. "I understand your struggles, but I know someone who can guide you to a better life. His name is Sage Arvant. If you visit his hermitage, you will find the answers you seek." Rowan thought for a moment and decided to go. He took a few days off work and set off on his journey. On the 1st night, he reached a grand palace and asked for shelter. The king of the palace welcomed him and inquired about his journey. When Rowan mentioned Sage Arvant, the king said, "Can you ask him a question from me? My son has been asleep for 10 years and won't wake up. Please ask when he will awaken." Rowan promised to ask and continued his journey. The next day, he reached a dense forest and got lost. There, he met an old scholar meditating under a banyan tree. The scholar asked where he was headed. When Rowan explained, the scholar said, "For centuries, I have sought enlightenment but never achieved it. Please ask Sage Arvin what I must do." Rowan agreed, and the scholar helped him find his way out of the forest. Further along his journey, Rowan came across a wide river with no bridge to cross. A wise fish surfaced and spoke, "Where are you going, traveler?" "I seek Sage Arvant," Rowan replied. The fish sighed. "I have lived in this river for 500 years, hoping to transform into a celestial being. Can you ask the sage when my time will come?" Rowan nodded. The fish carried him across the river, and soon, he reached the sage's hermitage. Sage Arvin welcomed him warmly and allowed him to ask 3 questions. Rowan now had 4 questions, but decided to sacrifice his own. The sage answered, "The prince will awaken when someone shakes him with a heart full of kindness and no selfish intent. The scholar will attain enlightenment when he stops overthinking and simply embraces life's wisdom. The fish will transform into a celestial being when it swims against the current instead of always flowing with it." Rowan thanked the sage and began his journey home. Upon reaching the river, he told the fish, "You must swim against the current to transform." The fish did so and instantly became a celestial being, leaving behind a chest of gold for Rowan. Next, he met the scholar and said, "You must stop overthinking and embrace the wisdom of life." The scholar closed his eyes, let go of his doubts, and instantly attained enlightenment. In gratitude, he gifted Rowan his sacred scrolls of knowledge. Finally, Rowan reached the palace. He approached the sleeping prince and gently shook him with kindness. The prince opened his eyes for the first time in a decade. Overjoyed, the king declared, "Who better to marry my daughter than the man who woke my son?" And so, Rowan was wed to the princess, gaining a new family and a prosperous life. All of this happened because Rowan chose to help others over himself. This story teaches us that selflessness brings rewards in unexpected ways. When we prioritize kindness and generosity, the universe repays us with joy and success. Sometimes, letting go of our own desires for the sake of others leads us to something far greater than we ever imagined. So take a step today, help someone in need, and watch how life blesses you in return. What do you think of this story? Share your thoughts in the comments and pass it on to your friends. Thank you.